What are your plans for Valentine's Day? Yeah, I'm alone. No shock there, you guys. Mama's gonna need a refill. It's time to fall head over heels in love while getting your funny bone tickled. I would say it's a feel-good, dark movie about a sex doll. If that doesn't make them watch it, I don't know what will. Welcome to 14 Days of Rom Coms, where we watch some of our favorite romantic comedies in order to get ready for that, well, dreaded holiday, Valentine's Day. So today I'm joined by my special guest over the internet. We have Keegan Smith here. And Keegan, you got to pick out one of your favorite rom-coms. What did you pick?
Hey, Ashley, thanks for having me here. This is a really cool idea that you're doing this. This is fun. We just got done watching Lars and the Real Girl, actually. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite rom-coms. I just think it's, especially with what everybody else was doing, I thought it was a little bit out of the box. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
So it's definitely a darker movie. It's and it does fit all the qualifications that we're looking for in a romantic comedy. When we started watching it, I said, I think this will be a fun one to argue because it does hit all of the themes that I'm looking for, but it does so in a very different way. So the first theme that I'm looking for in all rom-coms that I say are in all rom-coms is some sort of showing of heartache and heartbreak. So how does this movie show that?
Well, I think the big underlying theme for Lars is the heartache about losing his mother and being essentially probably feeling like he's the cause of her because she died while giving birth to him. And so that's weighing on him throughout the whole movie. I think that like his strained communication with his brother and sister-in-law was definitely, you felt that kind of heartbreak, like they had been splitting off. That changes throughout the movie. I think like the girl at work who was super interested in him, I forget her name, but just seeing the look on her face and the denial, like I definitely thought, I don't know, like we've all been rejected before, and she was rejected by a plastic doll, which is probably horrifying. I've probably been rejected in favor of plastic pieces before and didn't know it. Yeah. And I'd say like another theme of heartache and heartbreak present in the movie was just the way Lars eventually let go of Bianca, who's the doll. And I mean, he was allowing his body to feel that pain, something he hadn't maybe truly done since his parents died. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it like came full circle. Like he developed a relationship with somebody, whether inanimate or not, fell in love with them, and then had to lose them. And he completed like that full cycle of human emotion, and which eventually helped him move on.
And we were kind of joking, but it was like he needed a practice girlfriend before he could have a real human girlfriend. The community came together to bring her to life. Bianca at the end was, a member of the town, a member of the community. So I think that really leads into the second theme, which in all the other movies I've been saying friends support, but in this movie I would really just say support in general because the entire community comes together for Lars, and it's really just kind of beautiful.
Yeah, I thought that like you said, the way that the community came together for him, the sister-in-law especially, just she was really kind of the backbone, I think, for the entire thing, especially getting Lars's brother on board. I thought that was incredible.
They all work together to basically not shock him into coming out of this like fantasy he had created. Instead, they embraced it and accepted him for who he was and who Bianca was. And I thought that was really, really just beautiful. And so the last thing that I'm looking for from rom-coms is obviously, how does it show romance? Romance is key in a romantic comedy.
Man, I think the way, like, you made, I think you brought it up while we were watching it. He's like getting dressed up, combing his hair, getting all ready before the big unveiling. So he gets this crate, he gets Bianca in this box. And just from the start, like, I thought that was kind of romantic, just presenting himself. He wanted to show Bianca off to his brother and sister, and he was very proud of her. And just the way he took things, like, very slow. He was super chivalrous. And when I say take things slow, I know that sounds funny, but Ashley said when they kissed, the first time we see any type of intimate contact was right before she died. And there was nothing. And like the whole, like, being the fucking baboon that I am, I'm like, and Ashley realizes this, like, if you have a real doll, it's going to get used, right? But they never hint at any of that.
It's a sex doll. Legitimately, the sister-in-law looks at her vagina like, it's like, oh my god, she has one. You know, and that never even, it's his love for her is very innocent, like a first love kind of situation.
Yeah.
Where you take it slow. I think the scene that I think is probably the sweetest and probably one of the funniest to me is he takes her to the woods. Sounds creepy. But he takes her to the woods to where him and his brother would play when they were kids. And at one point you see Bianca, the doll, lying on the ground, propped up, looking up at a deer, what are those called? Deer blinds, like up in like a fort, basically, up in a tree. And Lars is laying in that fort up there, singing a song, like whistling. Like that's something you do when you're just like blissfully happy. Like he's singing a love song to her, but she's not even next to him. Like, and there were a couple of scenes like that where they have a true relationship. He fights with her. They have arguments, one-sided arguments. Even though she's a doll, she still has female tendencies.
It's definitely a feel good. It's weird. It's definitely avant-garde, but it's I felt really good. Like, it's definitely leaves you in a good place. And then it's like
good
training wheels. Like, his whole relationship, he eventually finds real human at the end, which is kind of right.
They leave it with this idea that he can now be with this real girl who previous to they kind of, and there was all and you pointed out there were already feelings there for her. Got jealous when there was another guy around, and he said he couldn't cheat on Bianca. Like, he had to first resolve this life situation. Bianca had to die, basically.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I want to say thank you so much, Keegan, for being part of this video series and then picking out such a fun and different movie.
Thank you, Ashley, so much for having me. This was fun. I really appreciate it. I had a good time hanging out. This was a good time. This is cool that you're doing this, and I look forward to seeing what everybody else watched with you.
Well, and with that, you guys, I hope you are getting ready for Valentine's Day, and we will see you on the next episode.